Hi there guys, and welcome to the second episode of Jonesy's Question Time, and that is the name that I've decided to go for. I quite liked the sound of it last time, and no one else has been able to come up with a better name, so Jonesy's Question Time it is. So yeah, I hope you're all happy with that. So I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has sent questions in. Last episode has obviously gone down very well. People seem to enjoy it, and you're all getting your questions in, and you're doing exactly what I said and keeping it varied. Quite a few Leeds United ones in there, which I have absolutely no problem with doing. I'll just sort of spread them out across a number of videos. And also just want to say, you know, if I don't say your question out, answer your question during this episode or in subsequent ones, then they will be answered in other videos. Because like I say, I'm kind of trying to stick to 4 to 5 questions each episode, and I've got much more than that. I think I've got about, well, including all the ones from the first one, I think I've got like 15 in, so like I've got enough for 3 episodes really. So right, let's get things on the road, shall we? So, which one shall I go for first? I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna start with Charlie actually. Charlie, my good friend from Bartak Gaming. He asked me, which video have you enjoyed recording the most? And that's a good question. I think when it comes to my videos on this channel, obviously I think the away days videos are always, well actually no, I say always good to record. They're actually not always that good to record, because you know, when you go to a football match, when you're constantly thinking of, you know, having to, you know, record with the camera and everything, sometimes it is hard to properly focus on the match. But in general they are always quite enjoyable to do, and the end product is always good. So I'm trying to think of ones that spring to mind really. The Charlton one was a particularly good one to record, just because so much happened during that day. What with obviously the long trip down to London, the weather, getting lost before the match, walking to the ground, you know, waiting outside the ground to find out if the game was actually going to go ahead, and then of course, you know, winning 4-2 after all that, and getting the goals on camera as well. That was pretty decent, especially McCall free kick. So yeah, really enjoyed that one. I'm thinking of other ones on my channel. I've really enjoyed, I think gaming wise, I enjoyed the Rogue Warrior video and also the Hotline Miami video. I enjoyed recording it and sort of the end product again after editing it. I think that went pretty well. But my favourite one of all time was actually one of the Bartak ones, and it was the Design Wars. I think it was Design Wars episode 3, I believe, where it was I gave the task of building our favourite animals, and I chose penguin, obviously. Charlie chose a turtle, of course. And you see, me and Charlie had no idea what Lee's favourite animal was. It was very clear that, you know, mine's always been a penguin, Charlie is a turtle, hence President Turtle. But we didn't really know what Lee was going to do. And even at the end of the build, before he'd revealed it, we still had no idea what it was going to be. And yeah, it turned out it was a tiger, when in fact I thought it was a gecko. Sorry, I think Charlie thought it was a gecko. I thought it was kind of some kind of spider or insect of some kind, and yeah, it ended up being a tiger. And I don't think I've ever laughed as much during a recording as I did that time. So that was a particularly enjoyable one. I'm sure Charlie will agree with that. I mean, to be honest, the majority of the stuff we do on Bartak, you know, we end up laughing so much. It just always goes so well, but that one always particularly sticks in the mind. So yeah, I'll go with Design Wars episode 3 from the Bartak channel. If you haven't seen that, I will put a link in the description. Go check it out, because it is absolutely fucking hilarious. It really is. So yeah, that's the answer, Charlie. I'm guessing that's might have been what you were expecting me to say there. So let's move on. Let's have a Leeds United one, shall we? James Eady on Twitter asked me, if someone told you you could choose how Leeds United got promoted, what would you choose, e.g. score, opponent and events? Well, if you look at how we got promoted from League 1 to the Championship, I mean, that was the most kind of ultimate cliffhanger nerve-wracking thing. I mean, that was a pretty awesome way to get promoted. You know, obviously relying on other results as well, so you know the majority of the crowd were listening into the radios and everything. You know, going 1-0 down before half time, going a man down as well, so we only had 10 men, and so to come back and win 2-1, especially in such quick succession with the goals and everything. Jermaine Beckford getting the very last goal just before he left the club, you know, that was pretty awesome. So it's very hard to beat that kind of cliffhanger of a football match. And I think that's what I'd choose when it comes to promotion. You know, as good as it would be to sort of go up as champions and have another trophy, I quite like that kind of big occasion and everything. So I think sort of through the playoffs and a playoff final, that would be a pretty awesome way to do it at Wembley, especially, you know, in the championship playoff final. And yeah, so we'll go a playoff final at Wembley. Opponent, I think we've got to go for Yorkshire Club, haven't we? I'd probably go for Huddersfield, because there is that, albeit it is more of a one-way rivalry, but I think for that very reason it would be fun to beat them at Wembley in the playoff final. So that could be quite interesting. And it's got to be, I think, again, sort of coming behind from, you know, from being 1-0 down. So say if Huddersfield scored, you know, late on in the first half, we go into half-time 1-0 down, very much like the Bristol Rovers game. And then, yeah, we get an equaliser just after half-time, or, you know, around 60 minutes or something like that. And then it's literally the last few minutes, injury time has just gone up, there's 3 minutes left, and we get a corner. It comes in, and Sol Bamba comes storming in at the far post and bullets a header into the top left-hand corner, and we win 2-0, 2-1, and go up from there. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. I'd enjoy that quite a lot. Because yeah, like I say, you know, if you win the championship, I mean, like I say, you do get a trophy, and it does confirm you as the best out of that league for that season. Coming in second is a bit boring. Yes, you get the promotion, but you know, you don't get any silverware for it, and you know, it's not like you get a trophy from going through the playoffs and everything. You don't get a trip to Wembley and that. So I think that's the best way of going about it. So that's how I would choose to get promoted from the championship, James. It would be against Huddersfield at Wembley in the playoff final. 2-1 victory with a last-minute headed goal from a corner. I said Solban, but it could have been anyone. It could have been Silvestri for all I care. Right, so that's that one done. Let's go back to something different. Fat Chump on YouTube has asked me, what PC have I got, and have I considered upgrading, seeing as though the gaming channel is going so well? The PC I've got is just a very bog standard Packard Bell computer. It's one I got fairly cheap, really, from, where did I get it from? I think I ended up getting it from Argos or something. It was on, I'd seen it in Curry's, but they got it cheaper at Argos. So I mean, it's done well so far in what I've wanted to do. I've had no problems. You know, it hasn't held me back with anything. But as he quite rightly says, you know, with well, my channel and the gaming channel going so well, it is going to need a big upgrade, sort of graphics card wise. You know, it needs a hell of a lot of, you know, a bigger memory. I mean, I'm kind of relying off one external hard drive at the moment. I need another. But yeah, I do need an upgrade at some point. But really, ideally, I'd like to do it sooner rather than later. But first and foremost, I need to get into my own place first. You know, the setup that I want. You know, ideally, I want a 2-screen setup. And I can't do that until I'm in my new place, you know, saving up for that as well, but I'll get onto that in another question coming up. You know, I can't afford really any upgrades, so if I do upgrade, it's going to be very late into this year, probably more realistically going into next year, really. But yeah, that's something I do want to do, because PC gaming wise, I want to do a lot more on here. I mean, I love my console gaming and everything, but PC gaming does give you a lot more variety to sort of play with. You know, Minecraft wise, I think it will work so well between me, Charlie and Lee on the PC. It'd be fun seeing them getting used to doing Minecraft on the PC as well, introducing them to you know, some of the mod packs and everything like that. I would really love to see us do like a Skyblocks series. I think that would be so much fun. So yeah, it's definitely something I want to do and push all of us to doing at some point. But yeah, until I upgrade my PC, which isn't going to be, like I said, definitely very, very later into this year when I'm in my new place, or into next year, we can't really look at anything else like that, really, unfortunately. But yeah, good question there. I'm going a bit quicker this time, aren't I? What should we do? I might end up using another question at this rate. Steve Hill on Twitter has asked me, what was my first away game football wise? My first away game was back in, I think it was the start of the 2000-2001 season, and it was for my birthday, and we played Huddersfield, well, it was then called the McAlpine Stadium, and I'd always had a fascination with that stadium as a kid. Like, football stadiums have always fascinated me, even since I was, you know, very young. And yeah, just the uniqueness of Huddersfield Stadium always sort of attracted me. I think we just actually signed Mark Viduka from Celtic at that point. I'm not too sure, but I think we won 2-0. I believe it was an Ian Hart free kick and possibly Lee Bowyer scored. But yeah, I just remember that atmosphere just being so different. Like, even in a friendly match, you know, the atmosphere was so different to what the home games were. And yeah, I just remember enjoying it so much. I mean, I actually went with my friends, one of whom is a Man United fan. But yeah, he's actually been, I think it might have changed by now, but when we were younger, he'd actually been to more Leeds United games than he had Man United games, so that was always funny. Always called him a glory hunting supporter, even though he wasn't. So yeah, that was always interesting, and always remember from that match, my friend opened a bottle of Coke, which had obviously been shaken up at some point, and it went all over this very lovely lady sat in front of us. It went all over her coat, and she was not impressed and ended up moving. So yeah, it was a very memorable day for many reasons, and yeah, it was the start of many others. I mean, I didn't go to my first league away match, sort of first proper away match, until it must have been 2002-2003 time. Where we played Blackburn. I think we lost 1-0, and Ian Hart missed a penalty. And Alan Smith may have got sent off, actually. I'm not too sure. It wasn't a very good first away game for me. But yeah, again, I remember that well. We were in the top tier of the Darwin end there. And that was sort of the start of going to, you know, actual league away games, and the start of many other ones. I think I'm up to 59 grounds in total. Not of the current 92, that's 59 grounds in total. I mean, I've been to some grounds that actually aren't any longer with us, like Main Road and Millmore at Rotherham, places like that. But yeah, overall I think I've been to about 59 grounds with Leeds United, and it's been an interesting journey. I do love the away games, they are always a lot of fun. But yeah, back in 2000 was my very first away game, Steve. So how we doing? Let's get another question in, and then we'll see how we're doing. Oliver Arundel, once again, has asked me, if you could move anywhere in the world, where would you move and why? I think I've probably talked about this before. Well, I know for a fact that I've talked about the place before, but whether I've said before if I could live there, I'm not sure. But Italy, it's got to be Italy. I mean, you saw in my room tour video that I've got a calendar up with all the sort of famous sites of Italy. But basically, the love started when I first went there. Would have been 2012, I believe, when I went there with an ex. And we went to we stayed in Sorrento, which was an absolutely gorgeous place. The birthplace of cannelloni, the restaurant there, which claims to have been the birthplace to cannelloni. and didn't get to have it. That's my one regret when I was there, not actually getting a chance to have it, but hopefully I will return there one day. But yeah, the place of Sorrento was just so amazing, and straight away it was just the way of life over there in Italy. It is so much more laid back. I mean, you know, like anywhere, there's a lot of downsides and everything, and people will say about other things that happen in Italy, and the violence and certain beliefs and that, but certainly in the 2 times I visited there, I've not encountered any problems. They are so welcoming, they are so funny to get along with, so easy to get along with as well. I'd say that first time we went there, the people in the hotel were so lovely. You know, got talking to the barman pretty much every night, heard so many great stories. So yeah, I mean, the people for a start, I absolutely love them. The food is just the most amazing food ever. I mean, it is my sort of favourite cuisine if people ever ask me. You know, I absolutely love and adore Italian food. You know, it's pretty much the only thing I like to make now when I'm cooking. You know, I've got 2 Italian cookbooks, and you know, I love pasta and all that kind of thing, and proper Neapolitan style pizzas and everything. And the country itself, you know, the actual landscape and the areas. I mean, Sorrento is on the Amalfi Coast in Italy. It's on the west side of the country, but the stretch of the Amalfi Coast is well, it is the most gorgeous, most beautiful place I've ever visited. So different, so unique. You know, the colour of the water is just out of this world. You know, little villages along the way, like Positano, which is basically just a town on a cliff edge. It's the most amazing place. I mean, Google it to have a look. It's quite a romantic place as well. A lot of people go there to get married in Positano, and you can see why. You know, I'm visiting Mount Vesuvius whilst I was there. Went to Pompeii, which again is the most stunning place ever. It really is fantastic, especially if you're into your history and everything. And then in 2013, my second trip there, I visited places like Rome, which again, the most amazing city. Unfortunately, I was only there for 1 day, but yeah, you kind of need at least a week to really go around Rome and see everything you want to. Went to Pisa, obviously went up the Leaning Tower and everything, but actually Pisa in general, you know, I just thought literally they just had the tower there and that was that, but no, much more to Pisa than the tower. Went to Florence as well, which was, yeah, again, out of this world. Absolutely loved that, and especially any Assassin's Creed fans out there, you know, actually seeing the sites and landmarks that are in Assassin's Creed, seeing them in real life is quite a surreal thing, because you're just looking for the haystacks and bale of hay at the bottom of the towers and everything. But it's yeah, I just love Italy. I mean, my dream would be to have, you know, a good couple of months off and just slowly travel my way around the country and go to all the various places, because really I've only been to places in the west. You know, I'd love to go down the east side of the country as well, down to the south, and you know, the Isle of Sicily as well. You know, there's so many gorgeous places. So yeah, if I had to live anywhere in the world, it would just have to be Italy, because it would suit my way of life, how I like to just relax and take things as they come. You know, I'd feel like I get on with the people. The food is just superb, and you know, the country itself is just beautiful. So yeah, that's what I would do, Oliver. So I'm going to leave it there, because I'm nearly at the 20-minute mark yet again. After me saying I was going on so quickly, it's actually ended up being 20 minutes again. So yeah, if I haven't read your question out or answered it today, then I will do so in the next one, guys. So don't worry, and do please still keep getting your questions into me. Leave them below in the comments on this video or any other question time video, or of course at my Twitter at ChrisJonesLUSC. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.